It's been 38 years since the last Jaguar E-Type rolled off the production line, but finally we've got an F-Type. There are 3 models in the range and we're going to drive them all, starting with this, the entry-level V6. It has a supercharged 3-litre engine with 340 horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. That's enough for 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds and a top speed of 161 miles per hour. If you want one, this entry-level F-Type will set you back just under £59,000, so is it worth it? First impressions are really very good. The car looks stunning and Jaguar's engineered the exhaust so that it sounds amazing as well. The driving environment's great, you've got a very simple but classy cabin, very driver focused, great driving position. And initial impressions of the driving experience are really good. You've got very fast, very sharp steering, and these roads we're on aren't particularly smooth, but the ride's pretty accomplished, really good body control, nice sharp throttle response. So far I'm pretty impressed. Okay, so standard cars made a really good first impression, so now we're going to switch to the V6S. So we've got more power, bigger wheels, some aggressive side seals, some subtle badging and a limited slip differential. Let's see what it's like. The F-Type S uses the same 3-litre V6 as the normal car, but its output is increased to 380 horsepower, while torque is slightly higher at 460 Nm. As a result, the 0 to 60 sprint time drops by 0.3 of a second to 4.8 seconds, and top speed is up to 171 miles per hour. However, the added performance comes at a cost. The S is £9,000 more than the standard car, but it does come with some very useful extra kit. All S models come with adaptive dampers as well, and that's controlled by the little lever down here. So when you put that into sport mode, you get stiffer damping, and like the standard car, you also get sharper steering, sharper throttle response, and faster shifts on the gearbox. And as you can hear, that exhaust note is just amazing. They've engineered the car to sound like a D or a C type, and that's just a real sort of tribute to this car's bloodline. So the 6-cylinder F-Types are great, but if you want even more power, you're going to need this car, the V8S. It's powered by a 5-litre V8, which is also supercharged, but it produces 495 brake horsepower. You can tell it's the V8 because it's got twin side exhaust rather than a centre exhaust, like the 6-cylinder cars. And while the V6S has got a mechanical limited slip differential, this car has got an electronic differential because of the amount of torque that it generates. So let's see how the range topper drives. So when you jump into the V8, the first thing you notice is obviously a very, very different engine tone. So this sort of raw muscle car V8 engine note that anyone who's driven an XKR or an XKRS will be very familiar with. You hear that straight away in the V8. Now obviously the biggest area of change as well is the fact you've got a much heavier engine in the nose. So through a longer corner you'll feel that there's more weight in the front end, so you'll feel the loading heading onto the front tyres and working that front tyre a bit harder. But the steering's still really fast and it still turns in really well. And if you have got the traction control turned off, there's a lot of power there. So like you can see there, if you get on the throttle, you can transfer that weight to the rear with the throttle. But you can just feel the front tyres having to work a little bit harder, a lot more inertia in the car. It's not quite as agile as the V6, but in no way does the V8 become like a bit of a big heavy Grand Tourer. It's still a proper sports car. It's just a very different character to the V6. The V8S can sprint from 0 to 60 in just 4.2 seconds and will go on to a top speed of 186 miles per hour. But if you want the ultimate F-Type, you're going to have to find a spare 80 grand. So has the new F-Type been worth the wait? Well, unquestionably yes. It looks and sounds fantastic and it's great to drive. Okay, the boot's a little small and some people would argue it's a little expensive, but Jaguar can be rightly proud of the new F-Type. Which model would I go for? Well, I'd go for the V6S, but whichever one you choose, you won't be disappointed by this fantastic new sports car.